Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa from Varro Healthcare here with Ray Stein from Varro Healthcare as well. We got a lot of feedback on the recent blog posts that we did on business self-assessment that Ray actually did. A lot of questions, and we figured that we'd put together a video kind of going over what a business self-assessment is. So why don't you start us off with that? What is BSA?
Sure. So BSA is business self-assessment. It's a risk management strategy. And the design of it says senior management, and teams are going to have a 360-degree comprehensive view of the operation. And here's what it does from a risk management standpoint. It takes the whole world and it breaks it down into smaller parts. And it takes the work and it breaks it down into line item detail. And it gives definition to each line item of work. So we know what the work is line by line, and we know what the expectation is around that work. Then the other thing that it does is it says, okay, in any given process there's going to be some level of defect. Things are going to go wrong, things are going to break. What's that degree of given that line item of work? So there's your risk assessment. Is what's a defect that I can live with? What's my tolerance for that? Mm-hmm. And then it goes through the process of measuring and evaluating the work. Mm-hmm. So that's what business self-assessment is.
Great. Well, want to take us through this and kind of let us know,
Sure.
like, how do you set it up?
That's right. So let's take a look at the template. So following what we talk about, we're going to take an entire operation. So so let's take our healthcare clients and talk about revenue cycle. We take the revenue cycle and we break it down into functional areas of responsibility. And we go manager by manager. We take the work and we define it, we give it line item definition. So, work standard expectation, produce widgets, in our example, produce widgets ordered within 3 business days of order date. Ship produced widgets to consumers within 2 business days of widget production date. So now we've taken the work and we've said what is the work and what's the expectation around it. Then we talk about what are our expectations and our tolerances. So for each given line, we're going to say, and again, this is all predefined, this is all homework that's done up front. We're going to say, what's the amount of defect that we can live with? Produce widgets ordered within 3 business days of order date. Widget defect rate does not exceed 1%. Backlog production dates, order dates greater than 3 business days do not exceed 2%. Backlog production dates, order dates greater than 3 business days, carrying order date greater than 5 business days. So now we've laid out the work. We know what the expectation is, and we know the amount of defect that we can live with.
All right.
Why don't we talk about testing methodology?
Do it,
along with
yeah.
that? So let's go right into that. So now we know the work, we know what the expectation is, we know what our tolerance is, but now we need to be able to talk about how we actually measure and evaluate it. So we're going to follow the same kind of thought process. We're going to take the work, we're going to give it line item definition, we're going to give our expectations and tolerances line item definition. Now we're going to spell out how it is we're actually going to measure and evaluate the work. Here's our example. Produce widgets ordered within 3 business days of order date. Widget defect rate does not exceed 1%. We're going to measure this by defect count divided by order count. Backlog production dates, order dates greater than 3 business days do not exceed 2%. Total count of orders with a production date greater than 3 days divided by total production. Calculate our actual, and we track our variance against what our target was. Red, yellow, green methodologies are a great way to be able to look at this and size it up and give a quick flash to say, we're tracking as planned, we have a minor variance, we have a big variance.
Is that how you know it's working, or?
This is how we know it's working. That's
Right.
it, exactly right. Yes.
Great. So with anything usually comes challenges. So what are the challenges on establishing one, maintaining one,
Sure.
managing
Sure,
the
the
BSA
BSA
program?
program.
Yeah.
So, first things first. We talked about in the blog the idea of a great way to get it done is to have a BSA champion. Somebody who is kind of the center point of the process, somebody who owns it, somebody who acts as a liaison between senior management, and the teams. You know, when you think about the challenges of this, you know, the real goal here is to be able to get it all on paper, to make sure you've got it all, and to be able to have all these different areas provide open, complete, transparent information. So I'd say up front, you want to be able to have, I would talk about a champion up front, somebody out there to be able to do that. Somebody's going to be able to conduct these interviews. Somebody's going to be able to say it back effectively. The other challenge you're going to run into is that if you start publishing data that shows that people are having variances in their area, you need to have the kind of operation that's okay with that, and that, you know, more in the vein of problem solving as opposed to folks getting into trouble. Good?
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, well, this segment is over. So follow us on varrohealthcare.com, please. And there's a Twitter, varrohealthcare.com. Also, my LinkedIn, I'm all over there. Follow our page and Facebook. Thanks so much.
Thank you.